public transportation. Okay. Okay. Motorcycle is acceptable to be one of public transportation. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? The debate will start now.
Okay, thank you for the time. Uh, I would like to explain about the motion, and before that, I would like to explain what about public transportation. Public transportation is the transport of passengers, and the passengers don't need their cars or other vehicles. Most public transportation lasts many sometimes, and the motion is motorcycle acceptable to be public transportation. And what is acceptable? Acceptable is something that is good enough to satisfy need, and there is something is good who gives benefits. Okay, I want to limit this debate is the law and is the acceptable is in public transportation in Indonesia. Okay, I agree with this motion. Motorcycle acceptable to be a public transportation. Why I agree? Okay, let me. Indonesia is a low country, and of course, Indonesia must has legality of everything happen. With a legality of acceptable motorcycle, maybe this transportation has protection from the government because the law is from the government, and we call now is Gojek maybe, and anywhere has a free tax. What is free tax? Tax is pajak. You know what? If the law has if the public transportation has acceptable to be is the motorcycle acceptable to be public transportation, and the law is arrange the law arrange the tax maybe sorry and if the word free fair tax is mean income of tax in Indonesia and will be increased, and also make infrastructure of Indonesia will be good. And for the saving driving, get a special attention from the government. And the point is coordination from the government. It will all of the legality driver become illegal and the job admit legality. And how everyone very need is transportation, because the transportation is very simple, it's very effective, and I'm and I'm as a student, as a human, and I'm very want to the motorcycle to be acceptable with the public transportation. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, the educator.
Morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning, the government. I want to review that what government said earlier. That they said it satisfied and give a benefit. There is no satisfied in that. I mean, the passenger relatively is in hot weather and rain. Motorcycle taxi driver have become accustomed to driving in the rain and hot weather, but not for the passengers. The second, you said that Ojek does not have a tax, but law says transportation business must to pay a regional tax. And also, Indonesia, you said it's a low country and this need maybe need protection from the government. You base this with maybe or There will be some question if you want to motorcycle is acceptable for the public transportation. How many people, passengers can be taken from motorcycles? How many motorcycles need to become public transportation? And how many? Yeah.
Okay, I would like to ask about your argument. How many people in motorcycle? How many people in motorcycle can be drive? I think it's so problem if the one of the like a penumpang in Indonesia passenger. It's so it's a simple I think because Indonesia in Indonesia.
Alright. You trying to say that one motorcycle can carry one passengers. That how many motorcycle need? How crowded the road will be? And how many pollution will motorcycle produce? Because uh, not every, as the data in 2015, not every motorcycle driver have a license. 55% of motorcycle drivers has no license, and every motorcycle driver has no right permission to become a public transportation. Also, uh, the passenger's motorcycle is at risk of their knee get hit by bumper of the cars and vehicle, another vehicle, and risk of sudden of brake and stick hold to it. I guess the motorcycle for acceptable to become a public transportation it's not really efficient because the motorcycle only can carry one passengers, not mention about their stuff that they bring. Yeah.
About the pollution. And the bus has a bigger body, right? And it made traffic jam too.
So, just imagine one motorcycle have one pollution. One big bus make one pollution for more people. So, if we more make the bus as a public transportation, it will be more efficient than we make motorcycle as acceptable for the public transportation itself.
But the time can effective with motorcycle. You hear time is money? Yes.
I heard about that. Time is money. Motorcycle is needed because the time is faster, right? So, how many passengers can motorcycle get? Only one. Then, how many motorcycle needs to carry one passengers? Can you imagine a lot of motorcycle in one road? It will be more crowded. It will be more traffic jams. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, I'm the second speaker in here. I would like to explain about the question. I think the opposition team speak about the one passengers in motorcycle. I think it's back like a need from the motorcycle. I think, and then if speak about the pollution, I think why with the bus with the Transjakarta in Indonesia, it's so beside me is flu, and then it so can be influenced, I think, and then tax from the government, it's depress the jobless, and the motorcycle like Gojek can be depress the jobless in Indonesia. And the next, I think from the cost in motorcycle transportation, it's so low. And then for everyone in here, I think No thanks. Okay. From the cost in Indonesian people, it's so very low, and I think from the emergency public transportation, I think it's the right choose from the public transportation. And then from the flexibility, motorcycle is the one of the most flexible public transportation, right, in Indonesia. Okay, and from the acceptable to be one the public transportation, I think is the tax from government to accept the motorcycle. Yeah.
You said before if the motorcycle is a flexible. What kind of flexible? Can you explain it?
Okay, from the flexible, from the time, from the cost, and then from the emergency transportation, it's a right choice, I think. Okay. So it's all enough from me. Thank you very much.
Good morning, the honorable educators and ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'm the second speaker of oversight team. At first, I want to review about the first speaker said from government side. The first speaker said is about the meaning of acceptable. Acceptable is not only give benefits. Why? Because if only give benefits, what about the disadvantage of motorcycle? So we need to think what is the disadvantage of using motorcycle as an acceptable public transportation. And then the second speaker said if the motorcycle is needed when we face an emergency situation. But if in emergency situation we need a more than motorcycle, we must use another transportation that more suitable than motorcycle, like ambulance or like a car that more safe than the motorcycle. Oh no, please. And now I want to say about the evidence. First is the research of Team Civil Engineer of Institute of Technology Bandung on 2009. They get a result if the increasing of using motorcycle is make the roads become more full or more crowded than the before. Why they can get this result? Because they do research when motorcycles have their own line on the road, the car speed or the bus speed can be increased from 28.88 km per hour become 48.88 km per hour. It means if the motorcycle is one of reasons that make the road become more crowded. And then there is evidence that the rate of accident of motorcycle is 56% of the total of transportation accident in Indonesia. And this is from a form of automotive journalist in Indonesia on 2010. And then that's why the motorcycle is not acceptable as a public transportation because it is very dangerous for the passengers. And then the Director General of the Director General of Industry of Technology Industry of Indonesia, Budi Darmadi said, if bus is the vehicle that most appropriate as a public transportation because it can take more passengers and its state is much more safe than motorcycle. And then if we see some case of motorcycle, okay, I will take an example as a online object that become booming nowadays. And then there is some case relate with the object or motorcycle as a transportation, or we know it as object. First is there is some case of God terror. Notice there is a God terror of bad testimony. Who is the God terror? The passengers who give a bad testimony to the drivers, and then some of the passengers get insulted by the Gojek drivers because they know the number of the passengers. And then the director of Indonesia Information and Communication Technology Institute, Harry Sutadi, said, if the provider of ojek online should secure the database and info of the passengers so that the passengers data can be secure, and then because of that, ojek or motorcycle is not safe for the passengers. And from health, we know if we use a ojek, if we use ojek, we will share the helmet, right?
Again, now for time for reply speech, please government.
Okay, I want to explain about the replay speech. From this motion, I think we agree about the motion. Indonesia is a law country, and of course, Indonesia must has a legality of everything happen. And then in Indonesia, some tax from the government is make the citizen is jobless, and then the next, I think, for the saving driver will get special attention, and the point is the resignation from the government. It will of the illegal drive become a legal and job as with legals, and back the acceptable. Acceptable is something that is good enough to satisfy a need, and from the opposition speaker. I hear that, I see about their point. Acceptable is not about the benefit, but the acceptable, I think, the acceptable motorcycle know to make all public transportation is motorcycle, right? And the last accident from the Gojek, accident from the motorcycle as public transportation is not one of the most, but accident from the taxi, bus, Transjakarta, I think it's all overcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, I want to say about the conclusion. First is, acceptable is not only give benefit, but also must think about the advantage of the passengers that will receive. That's why the motorcycle is not acceptable as a public transportation. And then, as we know, the result of the data of accident traffic on the road is mostly cause of motorcycle. And then there are another transportation accident caused by some bus or some car, but the most accident transportation is caused by motorcycle. That's why the motorcycle is not acceptable as a public transportation. It's not safe for the passengers. And then we also need to consider the passengers. When we face a rainy day, the passengers are vulnerable to cold, traveling by motorbike. To make passengers are exposed to the wind quite fast due to driving at a certain speed. It is not safe, and it is not good for the passengers. That's all. Thank you.
for a great debate. So from Bandung, first speaker spent 3 minutes 25 seconds, and the second government spent 2 minutes 32 seconds. Kramat, the first speaker of opposition, 4 minutes 26, and the second speaker 5 minutes 6 seconds. And the reply speech from Bandung is only 1 minute 43, and Kramat 1 minute 24. Okay. So for me, it's great debate. Thank you very much, Kramat and Bandung.
Thank you very much for watching. We have just finished competition between Polytechnic LP3I Jakarta Kramat Campus and Bandung. Thank you very much.